Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back. I hope you're all doing really well. I'm Lindsay, your host of the Heavy Metal Journal and writer for the Moshville Times, and today I am back with part 3 of my top 40 albums of 2025, where I will be counting from number 20 to number 11. Now, if you haven't caught part 1 and 2 of this series yet, I'll make sure that they're included at the end of this video, but all 4 of these videos in this series will be part of the same playlist. Now, the next part of my top 40 albums of 2025 will be counting my top 10 favourite albums of the year, and that will be coming out this coming Thursday at 9 PM GMT, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Okay, kicking things off today with number 20, released back on the 18th of April via Willow Tip Records. This is their 4th studio album. I have Dormant Ordeal with Tooth and Nail, and this is blackened death metal from Poland. Crushing death metal with elements of black metal on a foundation of some seriously aggressive melodics. Frantic riffs, relentless blast beats, and some really dark, malevolent atmosphere. This album is dynamic, it's layered, and it's absolutely stunning. It has a story to tell and it deserves a lot of time and attention. It's one of those albums that the more you listen to it, the more you're going to be able to pick up and you discover something new about it with each and every listen. My favourite track of this record is definitely Halo of Bones. There's just something really ominous yet grand and opulent, but it's incredibly dark and highly addictive. So coming in at number 20 today, I have Dormant Ordeal with Tooth and Nail. Coming in at number 19, released on the 7th of February via Nuclear Blast Records. This is their 7th studio album. I have Obscura with A Sonication. And this is progressive technical death metal from Germany. This band really know how to showcase their musical prowess with spiraling guitars and really technical heavy bass lines. This is a very layered album full of dense melodics, interesting technical time signatures and captivating rhythm. Obscura really like to blend a lot of death, thrash and black metal elements into those progressive moments. What I really like about this band is the fact that they are so very precise when it comes to attention to detail, but there's enough melodics in there as well to keep you hooked. Plus that album artwork is really cool too. My favourite track of this album is definitely Evenfall. Now that is one of their more melodic tracks on the album. It does get a lot more technical and progressive. But coming in at number 19, I have Obscura with A Sonication. Okay, so coming in at number 18, released on the 4th of July via Fia Productions. This is their 3rd studio album. I have Weald Woe with Far From the Light of Heaven. And this is melodic black metal from Idaho in the US. Now, I discovered this band back in 2023 when they released their 2nd album, For the Good of the Realm, and basically they combine classic black metal with musical influences from the medieval period. Now, this is normally known as castle metal, and it is absolutely fantastic. I love how they've balanced the raw intensity of black metal with the beauty and the opulence of the medieval period. Rasping, dissonant black metal screams which are a little bit unnerving, but it suits the mood of the album incredibly well. Intense blast beats, tremolo picking, solos, and it just has this archaic atmosphere to it. It is absolutely stunning. Harsh and frosty melodics, elegant compositions, and incredibly brutally heavy instrumentation. My favourite track of this album is definitely Brought to Ruin. I think they showcase the medieval period incredibly well on this track, but the black metal side of things has a lot of melodics, but is incredibly ominous too. So coming in at number 18 today, I have Weald Woe with Far From the Light of Heaven. Okay, so coming in at number 17, released on the 17th of October via Willow Tip Records. This is their 3rd studio album. I have An Abstract Illusion with The Sleeping City. And this is atmospheric progressive death metal from Sweden. So basically the band set out to create a soundtrack for dystopian sci-fi movies such as Terminator or Blade Runner, created by a death metal band. And that is exactly the vibe that you get with this. This is incredibly sprawling. It's a soundscape. It's so technically precise, but so unbelievably beautiful at the same time. I love how they've blended ambient passages into the raw technical death metal, which creates an absolutely fantastic contrast. But underneath all of that jarring technicality and the weaving in and out of the ambient passages, you have a lot of really high and rich melodics too. You have soaring, clean vocals, which are incredibly elegant. You've got the raw, devastating guttural growls, and on occasion, you have haunting spoken word moments as well, all blended together underneath the umbrella of technical death metal with a lot of really dense atmosphere. My favourite track of this record is definitely Like a Geyser Ever Erupting. It basically encapsulates the entire band's sound into one track on this album, and I absolutely loved it. So coming in at number 17, I have An Abstract Illusion with The Sleeping City. Okay, so coming in at number 16, released on the 26th of September via Reigning Phoenix Records. This is their 16th studio album. I have Amorphis with Borderlands, and this is progressive melodic death metal from Finland. Now these guys really need no introduction whatsoever. I have been a massive fan of these legends for many years now, and I often think that this is their most accessible album to date. It certainly falls heavier on the melodic death metal side of things, with elements of progressive and folk metal. Rich atmosphere, strong melodics, and really catchy hooks. There's a lot of really cool textured layers in this album, trademark keyboards, and it just has this very magical, uplifting feel about it. But don't get me wrong, because when this goes heavy, it does go incredibly heavy. I love the interplay between the clean vocals and the guttural growls in this album. I think they just bounce off each other incredibly well. My favourite track of this album is definitely Dancing Shadows. I am obsessed with this track, and it's definitely one of my favourite tracks of the entire year. Cannot get enough of it. It is so catchy, it's so uplifting, and it has a really addictive hook in it. So coming in at number 16, I have Amorphis with Borderlands. Okay, so coming in at number 15, released on the 30th of May via Metal Blade Records. This is the self-titled 5th album from Rivers of Nihil, and this is progressive technical death metal from Pennsylvania in the US. Now, when I heard that this album was getting released back at the beginning of the year, I knew it was going to be good, but this completely exceeded all of my expectations. I love how they managed to balance rich melodics with technical precision and a lot of really dense yet unnerving atmosphere. Now this is a really diverse album with more melodic tracks, technically precise tracks, and then other tracks that are just full on death metal aggression. You've got powerful cleans, haunting whispers, and devastating growls, and of course you have the trademark saxophone throughout as well. My favourite track of this album was actually quite difficult to choose because there was quite a lot of tracks that I really loved on this album, but I've went with American Death because yes, even though it is one of their more melodically inclined tracks on the album, it has this massive anthemic chorus that I just cannot get out of my head. So coming in at number 15, I have the self-titled album from Rivers of Nihil. Okay, so coming in at number 14, released way back on the 28th of February via Svart Records. This is their 4th studio album. I have Havukruunu with Tavastland, and this is blackened heavy metal from Finland. Now this is classic heavy metal with a black metal edge infused with Finnish folk storytelling. It's thunderous, it's in your face, it has this massive, commanding, muscular presence, and it is so unbelievably catchy. The hooks in this album are unreal. A really strong rhythm section, rich melodics, but it's incredibly heavy at the same time. It just has this really magical, uplifting atmosphere, full of frantic riffs, screaming solos, thunderous drums, and incredibly heavy bass lines. This album basically tells the tale of the Tavastians rising up in rebellion against the Church of Christ back in 1237, and you can definitely feel this triumphant, muscular air about the album. This is a very guitar-driven record full of dynamic riffs and screaming solos, and it's definitely the guitars that generate the atmosphere here. Now my favourite track of this album is a track that I'm not going to try and pronounce because I can't, but it's the opening track of the album, so definitely go and check it out, and that's the one that's playing in the background here. So coming in at number 14, I have Havukruunu with Tavastland. Okay, so coming in at number 13, released on the 14th of November via Wolves of Hades. This is their 4th studio album. I have Lamp of Murmuur with The Dreaming Prince in Ecstasy. And this is black metal from the US. Now I discovered this project, yes it is another solo project, back in 2023 when they released their album Saturnian Bloodstorm, and I have been a huge fan ever since. Now, the most striking thing about this band, before you even listen to their material, is the album artwork. The album artwork has always grabbed my attention. It is absolutely stunning. And the vibe that you get from this artwork is definitely the vibe that you get when you listen to it. This is intense melodic black metal full of tremolo, frantic blast beats, slamming bass lines, and the guttural screams and roars are venomous and rasping. But then on occasion, you do have these soaring clean vocals that come in that really adds to the ambience of the album. Now, there are keyboards and synths present throughout, but they are incredibly well placed and they are well layered within the tremolos and the blast beats. They're not just stuck in for the sake of it, they do have their place and they do serve their purpose. It's theatrical, it's dramatic, it's incredibly stunning, but it has this roaring, brutal atmosphere about it. I love how this project balances that dark, dreamy kind of ambient feel with the raw energy of black metal. My favourite track of this album is definitely the Dreaming Prince in Ecstasy Part 1 Moondance. To be honest with you, Part 1, 2 and 3, that entire run of tracks is absolutely stunning, but it was definitely Part 1 Moondance that caught my attention first. So coming in at number 13, I have Lamp of Murmuur with the Dreaming Prince in Ecstasy. I have no idea if I'm going to be pronouncing this next album correctly, and if I don't, I'm really, really sorry. But coming in at number 12, released on the 5th of September via Hammerheart Records. This is their 4th studio album. I have Jord with Emalinträden, and this is atmospheric black metal from Sweden. Beautiful piano, rich melodics, and atmospheric soundscapes, taking on inspiration from ancient forests, nature, and combining that with the raw energy of black metal. This album is intense, but it's absolutely beautiful at the same time. The melodics are haunting with a little bit of a progressive and shoegaze edge to them, and it's a highly addictive album to listen to. I love the contrast between the clean vocals and the rasping growls, but you also have these really cool ambient passages too. My favourite track of this album is definitely Stay. I love how the piano is utilised in this track, and it just slowly builds into an absolutely fantastic conclusion. So coming in at number 12, I have Jord with Emalinträden. Okay, so coming in at number 11, and rounding off this part of my top 40 albums of 2025, released on the 2nd of May via Nachtermacht Productions, which is very difficult for me to say with my Scottish accent because we roll our R's. This is their 3rd studio album. I have Firienholt with Night Eternal, and this is epic melodic black dungeon synth from the UK. Now, this is melodic black metal that takes on themes of Tolkien's work and fantasy and fuses it with a heavy presence of dungeon synth. Anytime a band incorporates H.P. Lovecraft, Tolkien, or any kind of fantasy world vibes, I am all over it, especially when it's combined with melodic black metal. It's always a surefire way to grab my attention, and this one was no exception to that rule whatsoever. Now, this project is fronted by Tom Odell, who also fronts Dwarrowdelf and Wraithfire, so you know that you're in for a grand, opulent, majestic journey when you listen to his projects. And that is exactly what you get with this. It's densely atmospheric, there's a lot of rich, soft melodics combined with dungeon synth elements and a lot of really cool black metal elements. It's catchy, it's dynamic, it's layered, and it's an album that you can get completely lost in. My favourite track of this record is definitely Black Wings in Sumerian Skies. There's just something very fantastical and opulent but incredibly heavy about it, and it really grabbed my attention and held it throughout the entire track. So coming in at number 11 and rounding off today's part of my top 40 albums of 2025, I have Firienholt with Night Eternal. And that's it for my part 3 of top 40 albums of 2025. Once again, comment down below to let me know what you think of today's records, and if you have your own top 40 albums list going, let me see this portion because I absolutely love seeing everybody's lists. Like I said before at the beginning of the video, if you missed part 1 and 2, I'll make sure that they're linked at the top of this video in the same playlist so you can go and check them out. The next part of my top 40 albums of 2025 will be my top 10 albums of the year, which will be getting released this coming Thursday at 9 PM GMT. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Thank you all so much for your support. I really do appreciate you all as always, and I will see you on Thursday for my next video.